everybody, it's Chris Eads, Wootini over at gaygamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast. This week, it's all about The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, which was just released digitally for the Wii U. I specified digitally because it will be released retail, but not for a couple of weeks. That's October 2nd, I believe. Which is kind of, or is the 4th? Whatever. It's in October. It's literally 2 weeks later it releases in a retail copy. And I was kind of like, I'd rather have a retail copy because it's not the kind of thing that I want to have digitally, because for me, the games that I like to download and have digitally on my hard drive are games like Animal Crossing or like Wii Fit, like where I'm going to keep going back to them, if not daily, then pretty much daily. So I don't want to have to keep swapping discs in and out all the time if I'm playing something else at the same time, you know. So I didn't really care to have Wind Waker digitally. I was perfectly fine buying it as an actual retail copy. The problem is then I would have to wait 2 weeks while everybody else was playing it and enjoying it, and then 2 weeks later I would then buy my retail copy. And you don't save any money, so whatever. Although, again, I feel like if you're going to buy a digital copy of something, it should cost less than the retail copy because they don't have the production costs. But whatever. Also, if you want to steer people towards digital releases, you make them cheaper. I mean, if The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD was going to cost you $50 in a store, but it was only $45 to download from the eShop, I think more people would buy it from the eShop. And I also don't know the the economics of it. If Nintendo gets more money when you buy it directly from their eShop than if you buy it from a Best Buy or a GameStop as a retail copy, I don't know. It seems like they should, but I'm not sure. But I do get the impression that Nintendo is pushing the eShop a lot more, because I had the same thing with Lego City Undercover, where it was supposed to come out like on Monday. It was like Sunday or Monday it was supposed to have come out, and I went to a Best Buy and I was like, yeah, I want to buy Lego City Undercover. And they're like, oh, that's not out yet. I was like, yes it is. I could download it from the eShop right today. And they're like, yeah, I don't think that's shipping till tomorrow. Well, we might have it like Wednesday or Thursday. And I was like, what? So there was only a couple of days. With Wind Waker HD, it's a couple of weeks. And then with Wii Fit U, that launches in the eShop on November 1st. It doesn't retail until December 13th as an actual disc in a bundle. If you don't already have a balance board, you'd have to wait. Although you don't really have to, because you could totally just download it and probably pick up a used balance board somewhere really cheap, because I'm sure people are just desperate to get rid of those. But I do feel like if Nintendo is heading towards this thing where they're releasing digital copies of games in advance of physical retail copies, that they probably should have given the Wii U a slightly larger hard drive. You either got 8 gigs or 32 gigs. Obviously I went with 32 because, a bigger hard drive plus Nintendo Land, that was the bundle I wanted. If you had an 8 gig hard drive, like, you could download maybe a couple of games and you're going to need to buy an external hard drive right away. I'm still okay with 32. I was able to download Zelda. It wasn't that big of a file. It was like 1.5, 175. Like 1.75 gigs. It wasn't even 2 gigs. And I've heard that Wii Fit U is going to be like 4.5, I think it's 4.5 gigs. So my 32 gig hard drive is getting full, but I'm not at the point yet where I'm going to need to buy an external hard drive. After Wii Fit U, there might come a game where I will eventually have to get it, but again, I would like to buy retail copies so that I don't have to worry about filling up a hard drive. Although I did find like a 500 gig hard drive for like $50 in Best Buy, and I'm sure I could find something even cheaper like on Amazon or some such. So it's not like the worst thing in the world. I just think that from the start, they should have given you like at least a 100 gig hard drive if they're going to be pushing the digital downloads from the eShop as much as they are. What are you going to do? Anyway, Wind Waker HD is wonderful. It is my favorite Zelda game. And I know a lot of people have their problems with it. Some people hated the cel shading and the cartoony graphics. Personally, I think that that is the best part of the game, because just the animation of the characters and like Link's facial expressions, there's so much character to him, and I feel like that just pulls you into the game and it just makes it more real. Like, even though the graphics are cartoony, it becomes more real because the animation has such character to it. So I thought it was the best graphical style of any Zelda game ever. And then some people also hated the sailing. I actually didn't mind the sailing. This game, you get a faster sail that you can go and buy so that you can sail a lot faster and get where you gotta go. But I didn't really find it that tedious in the original GameCube game. Like, it didn't really bother me. Like, I actually found it kind of soothing, and I enjoyed exploring the sea and finding the different islands and every little piece of land and every little salvage item and whatever. So I'm predisposed to love this version as well, which obviously I do. It's basically the same game. It's just a lot prettier. They've sort of taken away some of the cell shading shadows and replaced them with just beautiful lighting. Sometimes there's a bit too much bloom lighting, but when you're playing it, it's not really that obnoxious. Like, I've seen trailers and video footage where I was like, holy crap, it's all fuzzy and blurry. It's not that bad when you're actually playing it. I also love the addition of the tingle bottles, where you can take pictures with your pictograph and put them in a tingle bottle, or just write a message, whatever. You can attach a picture if you like, but you can write a little message and put it in a tingle bottle, and you toss it. And even if you're in a dungeon, you toss it out, it's fine. And it goes out into the Miiverse world. It just kind of integrates Miiverse into the game a little more, so you're not like leaving the game to go out into Miiverse and make a post. It just kind of puts it in the game. So like when you're in the game on an island and you're on a beach, you can see little bottles floating in the water, and if you go and pick it up, then you can see people's messages and their photos, and it's just cute and fun. Because I'm not predisposed to go to the Miiverse page and just start scrolling through everybody's pictures, because everybody's posting pictures and there's so much to see and it's kind of ridiculous. So I sort of like it in the game where it kind of slows it down for you, and you just get a handful of pictures, and it's just cute. And I also like that you can take your pictographs, you can also take your Pictobox and swap the camera around and take selfies with different facial expressions for Link, which is just adorable. I've only just begun. I only just got the boomerang, so I'm still early days yet. But what was funny is that I was like, this is really awkward, and when I got the grappling hook, I mapped it to the trigger so that I could still look around with the thumbstick before I would, trigger the grappling hook. But then I mapped the boomerang to one of the buttons, and then I realized I can't hold the button down and look around with I've only got the one thumb on this hand. And then I realized they added gyroscope controls, so you do this, and then you can go like this, and just tilt the gamepad to, target what you want to hit with the boomerang. It's so much easier. The gyroscope controls make things so much easier. It's just like with the Twilight Princess and being able to, aim with the Wiimote. And I hadn't even thought about it, and then I just sort of instinctively, moved my hand and targeted things, and I was like, yay, Nintendo, always thinking ahead. So I appreciated that. It's a great game. I very much enjoy Wind Waker, and I don't think that it's going to sell Wii U's. I mean, I have seen people online saying, I'm buying a Wii U so that I can play this, and I'm like, really? Like, do you not have your GameCube anymore? Because, yeah, it's pretty, but it just seems weird that you buy a $300 console. Although you can buy the bundle for $300, and you get the console and the game, which is actually a pretty good deal. It's also a branded console, which is kind of awesome. I don't know if it's going to sell Wii U's, but I know a lot of Wii U owners who are very excited to play Wind Waker again, because it's just an awesome game. And, there isn't a whole lot else to play right now. I know Wonderful 101 just came out, but that's more of like a strategy game, and I don't really go in for strategy games. Also, I've heard it's kind of difficult, and so I'm like, difficult strategy games, really not my cup of tea. So that's it. So I have more of Hyrule to explore, and I will see you back here next week. Bye!